Today's episode is sponsored by Steel Hill Production Company. Now, regarding the Combine Factory, I think I'm going to have to take it down. Because, well, I think I went over this already. So, let's see. Yeah, there we go. I'll use this as another stash. I mean, the Combine Factory, I put this thing together before I knew about such things as overclocking, underclocking. That's interesting. If I could make stators... Can I make stators? I forget exactly how I had that set up. I think it was... But what else are rotors used for other than to make motors out of? I'm not really sure. So I guess what I'm going to have to do is go back to Steel Hill and put the rest of these rotors in. As supplies, and then I got lots of steel pipes. I got lots of well, I have some steel pipes anyway, and I've got lots of copper wire. Not as much copper wire as I have copper cable, but still. So I'm going to start that little setup I got over there making motors again. Okay, yeah, those went in there. There we go. Now as for stators, did I have another assembler using those or no? It's beginning to look like I didn't have that, so... I can take all the rest of the pipes here. This thing down. I'm going to reconfigure these. I have to use a space I'm not quite using right now. It also means I'm going to have to build the reconfigured Steel Hill in a different direction. Now to grab some rotors to build stuff with. Can't forget that, can I? Think of it, maybe I'll need another stack of them. Program that to make stators. And put a couple of boxes down here. There. We're getting too steep. Problem is this entire dang hill is too steep. That's better. Okay, well, take 2 of these out. Interesting. There's more iron over here. I could use that to make iron wire. I mean, the limestone node is way over there. I think the only reason that I'm keeping the steel, the foundries, where I'm keeping them is because of the tractor. Like, I already got a good route there, so I don't want to rock the boat, so to speak. This, I think, is the only, they're the only coal nodes that have iron nodes anywhere near them. Alright, where's the wire? There it is. Now, granted, I'm not going to be using all of it for, well, I guess I could, well, it's not going to be all used for stators. But right now, the main thing I'm trying to accomplish is to get motors made, because I know I'm going to need them. Where? Okay, good. Yeah. Let me just connect this to... That's better. Okay, now we can start making motors again. How's this going? It barely is. Or maybe that's just me being a little impatient. Boy, I had no idea I had so many rods. I'll have to put them away too. If any of these are still running, alright. Suppose I just have to let this thing run out. Then take the rest of it down. Welcome to Back of the Envelope Calculation Theater. We have 2 iron nodes, which we can get 120 ore a minute out of. And we can send them to a total of 8 smelters. Now, keep in mind, I'm not using overclocking. This is something of a worst case scenario here. So we've got the 2 nodes. We split them each 4 ways apiece into 8 smelters. And they're going to be in 2 distinct groups. This first one is going to be used to make plates, just to make plates. But for the purposes of this factory, we need 90 plates, and 4 smelters worth of plates only makes 80. So I'll have to take the output of a 5th smelter from the other node and split it in half. And the first half is going to go to a plate constructor working at half capacity. That's where we get 90 plates from total. The other half is going to go to a rod factory. And the rest of the smelters will be used to make rods, all of them. Which brings us a total of 7 rod factories total. Now some of those 7 are going to make screws, but rod factories take 15 ingots and make 15 rods. Screws take 10 rods at a time. So there's going to be some splitting and some merging that has to be done here. Now you take the output of 2 of those rods and split it 3 ways into 3 screw factories for a total of 120 screws. But we need more than that. We need twice as many. We need 180 screws. So we take another rod factory and split it 3 ways, but merge 2 of those 3 to make more screws. And then the rest of those rods will go to a screw factory working at half capacity. And that's where you get your 180 screws from. Now we take the outputs of the plate factories and the outputs of the screw factories and combine them. Combine the plates into one output and combine the screws into one output. And those are going to be used to make reinforced iron plates. Now if you have a look at this, as it is now, without those last 2 smelters, with 180 a minute instead of the full 240, that by itself is a reinforced iron plate factory. However, it's going to take a little bit more than that, because we're not making reinforced iron plates, we're making modular frames. We can take what is shown here and use it as a reinforced iron plate factory. But in this case, let's just move this over here, we need to make modular frames, and those take reinforced iron plates, but the ratio is a little bit different. Now to be honest, you'd have to split the outputs of these 3 reinforced iron plate factories into fifths, but that's not possible. What I'm going to end up having to do is overclock the modular frame assemblers to 125%. That way you only need 4 of them, and you can split combined outputs into 4, and as if that wasn't handy enough, those 4 rod factories from, well, much earlier that we haven't been using, each one of them can connect directly to a modular frame factory. You don't have to combine or split anything. And you take the outputs of the modular frame factories and split them and put them into one box. And that is how you make modular frames in a factory without having to use buffers for extra rods or extra screws or extra plates or anything along those lines. Or even extra reinforced iron plates, because the entirety of the output of the reinforced iron plate assemblers is used up by the modular frames, which means I'm going to have to build another factory for reinforced iron plates, but I've already described how to do that. So I can just build that with, I guess, another node, which I can overclock to, maybe I can't overclock it to 180. I'm not really sure. Either way, this is how you make both reinforced iron plates and modular frames in one go. Well, it seems the moment has finally come, where I have enough of these versatile frames, or versatile frameworks, I should say, to finish the requirements for Phase 3. So, I'm going to bring them all over to the space elevator. And then I can finally reconfigure Steel Hill. Now, Steel Hill doesn't need to manufacture versatile frameworks anymore. It can concentrate on things like steel pipes, steel beams, and encased industrial beams. I did reconfigure the combine factory. Well, not the combine factory. I just put something else there that makes modular frames. And here we are, not only completed, but it seems I was off by a couple hundred. Well, I don't know. I suppose on the other side of that thing, it is possible to have a part for a phase be made out of other parts for previous phases. It doesn't make me feel that much better about it, though. But the other things I gotta make are, well, I had to look at it and it was pretty heavy stuff. For example, well, first off, it has to be made in the manufacturer. We have a modular engine, which is made out of smart plates. And we have an adaptive control unit, which is made out of automated wiring. I mean, I could use automated speed wiring here, but I think that's a little excessive. And those are going to be pretty heavy things to manufacture in their hundreds. Speaking of manufacturing stuff, I'm not quite ready to turn this thing on yet, but this is the modular frame factory. Not a reinforced iron plate factory, because it's supposed to use all the reinforced iron plates that it makes. However, you know what I could do? I could make a reinforced iron plate factory with the node that I'm not using way up at the hub. I mean, I'm not exactly sure what my situation is space-wise. It probably... well, I may not have enough room to put all of it there, but at least I can like bring some stuff down and put it in the place where the modular where the combine factory used to be, at least sort of. So we have here a couple of miners, Mark II miners. I put them into some smelters. Now there are normal clocked. There are only 8 smelters. You have to use 8 smelters. But here, I was able to overclock almost all of them and make them double to reduce the footprint. And that was also my logic in these, well, not these constructors. I mean, those are normal clock, they just make rods. But over here, these constructors make plates at double the at double the normal rate. I'm trying to make them 90 a minute. There's a reason for that. And the rods, there are supposed to be 45 of them a minute. But it's not exactly a conventional way of adding it up to 45. Unless, wait a minute. Okay, yeah, see, you got 30 here and 15 over there to make 45, and then I just split it up into, you know, I don't think looking back on it now, I don't really have to combine. Yeah, note the rod factories, they are overclocked to take rods and make them and make screws at 45, take 15 rods a minute and make 60 screws a minute to make, oh my goodness, I just realized something. The screws, they're 60 a minute, right? Okay, so I'm not combining them. I'm kind of used to the idea of combining stuff, moving it, and then splitting it back up somewhere else. So 60 is the exact amount that a Mark I conveyor belt can take. And so I've got reinforced iron plate assemblers up there, each. I don't think I overclocked them, but let me just double check here. Okay, no, I didn't overclock them. But you'll notice that I took the 90 iron plates that I'm making per minute and split them 3 ways to feed 30 a minute into the assembler. Then I combined the output of that and shipped it over to way up here, along with the output of a few of the other smelters, like the last smelter, the one I didn't use. Because I needed that to make the rods that it takes to make modular frames. You see, I've got rods again. I've overclocked it to double. Now, the thing about modular frames is that you have to split an output into fifths. That's right. My set of assemblers for reinforced iron plates makes 5 a minute. The reinforced iron plates that this thing uses would normally take 3 a minute, so I'd have to take the 15 a minute that I got from all 3 assemblers for reinforced iron plates and split it 5 ways. Well, I don't think that's possible. What is possible, however, is to overclock it just enough so that it can take 3.75 a minute, which is 15 divided by 4. So I've got 4 of these assemblers making modular frames, and then I combine the input and put it into this box here. Mostly because I need somewhere to store all these modular frames. I'm going to want to make... Well, actually, I think what I'm going to want to do is not merge these final ones, but take a pair and pair them and put them in a box, and then, although maybe I can use this box as a buffer, at least for now. Maybe I'll edit it a bit more later. But see how I can see Steel Hill from here? I might wind up bringing in steel pipes from Steel Hill once I reconfigure it, and feeding them into manufacturers to make heavy modular frames, because those you need well, looks like you need screws, of course, from iron. You need encased industrial beams, and you need pipes. And the encased industrial beams and the pipes, I guess I'm going to have to pipe them in from Steel Hill, the reconfigured Steel Hill. But anyway, at least now I can reconfigure Steel Hill.